Oh wow.
Oh my God. Are you serious? Really? Are you serious? Are we recording all this?
We are recording now, guys. The recording is in
We're
progress.
already live. Of course, this is what the lab.
Um, Never mind. I'll talk about this later.
Uh-huh.
All right, Lakana, turn on your camera for us. Turn on your
I
camera.
am. I am. I'm taking. I took the app off so I don't run low on storage.
Turn, like the teachers used to say
Okay.
during COVID. Please turn on your camera so we
Yeah.
can get your
I
Turn
video.
your
know
camera.
that's
Well,
right.
that's right. Right. Okay. I am ready. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay. So we look good actually, but it's okay. We're gonna be good.
Yeah, we're gonna be good. We get it right. We get it right. First night recording
Right.
on Riverside, if I'm not mistaken. But what's up, guys? Hello,
What's
everyone.
up?
This is the lab.
Hey,
Lakonda,
everybody.
Alicia,
Hey.
and myself, BJ, which is how we came up with the version or
Lab.
our podcast called The Lab, which is now we're recording it virtually, a virtual podcast. And yeah, so let's get right into this, you all, and let's talk about what has been going on this week. Obviously, the BET Awards, and we have also
Mm-hmm.
some other news to cover as well, and we'll let Lakanda get to that and highlight that someone obviously in the media industry that we know has, fortunately passed away due to a long battle of cancer. But let's go with the BET Awards first. Okay, the BET Awards, y'all. Obviously, y'all know I went.
That's right. Go ahead, celebrity.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Representing.
oh my. Now, let's talk about it. So I went last year, and y'all prep because let me tell y'all, these are the OGs. These are the original. Like before there was content creators and everyone doing like these were real people interviewing people. So if you don't know the backstory about Lakonda and Alicia, they
Lord.
were radio hosts on 97.9 The Wiz, correct? If I'm not mistaken. I grew up listening to them as a little boy, the L&A show, and now on the B, so that's where we get the laugh from, y'all.
Right.
And
Right.
so Lakonda and Alicia used to interview a lot of celebrities. They used to go to the BET Awards before the people y'all know now that's going to the BET Awards. Like I said, these are original OGs, and I'm just so honored to be sitting here with y'all talking and having our own little show. But to to wrap all of that up, y'all. I'm sorry, I got I don't know, I got a clipper thing in my hand. But anyways, to wrap all of that up, I went to the BT Awards last year. I went this year. And when I tell you this year blew last year out of the park,
I'm sure. It looked like it did.
Lakonda, what? So everyone is saying BT did a good job. Let's go. Who wants to speak first? Everyone said BT redeemed themselves. So who wants to speak first?
They did. They did. I actually think they do good all the time. Me myself.
Mm-hmm.
But they did redeem themselves this year. I it was just one thing, just one. And the only thing that I would change about the BET Awards this year is 803 Fresh perform on the main stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing I wish they would have did a little differently. I think that song was so big, huge. I feel like it was just a huge hit, and it's not like it's been a huge hit for a long time. In a couple of
Mm-hmm.
months, in just several months. That's the only thing. But my highlight, 803 Fresh was my favorite, but Tiana Taylor
Mm-hmm.
was my second favorite.
Yeah, she did
Yes,
a wonderful job.
yes,
So
yes.
let's. Can I have two things to say, and I want to hear y'all's response to this. Number one, Do you feel like with obviously Southern Soul is the type of genre that 803 Fresh is in, and which um, Boots on the Ground is classified in? Kind of, do you feel like him not performing on the main stage still shows that there's still a barrier between Southern Soul music and the uh, mainstream industry right now?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel like that was a barrier. Like I believe that that's the only reason why. But still, props to him. Still did a great job, and I think it showed
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
that it's still entertaining because they did a wonderful job on that show. Because obviously, I was in the award show, so I couldn't see the pre-show. And what most people don't know, the pre-show, some of it is pre-recorded, but he did an awesome job. But that's what I want to just talk about. Like, I feel like it still shows that there's still a barrier between Southern soul music and
Mm-hmm.
the mainstream like industry or mainstream,
Yeah.
the main what we call mainstream in this industry.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Go ahead, Leash.
Definitely.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I was sitting there watching. I said, "Wait a minute," because I heard that other song he has called "All Night." I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "Oh Lord, that's 803." And he said, "Oh Lord, that's him." And then he came out and performed "Boots on the Ground." And I was like, "Oh, I mean, he did amazing." But I just thought he would have been on the main stage. This song took over the whole
Right.
world.
Exactly, and
Right.
I agree. I thought it was going to be on the main stage as well, especially when they started promoting that he was going to be at the BET Awards, and then a couple of days before I realized, oh, it's the pre-show. I kind of was let down, but still, it's not nothing on his part. It's just BET's part. But I was still glad to see him
Yeah, glad that
just
he was
there,
on
just being there.
there. Hmm.
And then one thing to talk about is that song. Obviously, I was at the BET Experience the whole weekend. I was in LA the whole weekend for almost the whole weekend for the BET Awards. That song, I kid you not, was played at least every day at any event or function that I went to. That's how big that song is, and that goes to show that yes, he probably should have been on the
On the
main
main
stage.
stage.
I will say that it possibly could have been another thing. I think BET took a different route or approach to the show this year with them doing the tribute to 106 in Park
Yeah.
and the Icon Awards. And all guys, remember this show was one of the longest. This was almost a
Yeah.
5-hour award show, I think.
Yeah.
So I
Hmm.
Yeah.
guess, and in this industry, some things you have to cut. So I guess it was like, well, they sacrificed, him not performing on the main stage, and was like, okay, we can move this to the pre-show. Because if you notice, this year the show style changed. Most of the rappers and everything this year was on the pre-show stage instead of how they would do it, like the newer rappers and newer songs that were really popular on the main stage or on at the main show. Like I think the only new artist that really performed was Leon Thomas with Mutt and what is his name, Playboy Cardi, in his song. Like at the like, and that was towards the end of the show basically. So it was like it was more so a focus on the tributes music or musical selections or performances with that, and then obviously Tiana Taylor performed, and I want to talk about that because obviously that's Tiana Taylor. That was a song that she performed off of her new album that hasn't been released yet, and when I tell you
Hmm.
all that we were entertained watching that,
Hmm.
we did not know the song, we did not know the lyrics, but we were entertained. Lakan, I guess we could talk about that. We were entertained.
Listen,
Well,
I
before
was
we
like,
and
okay,
I want to say just to finish up with 803. Can you imagine him being on the main stage and the whole auditorium with all those fans popping in there? Now
right,
that would have been
That
woo.
was, and
right.
listen, so they played the song during the commercial break. I posted a video, y'all
Okay.
saw it.
Yes,
But
yes, you did.
everybody, people had their fans. It is because of
Right.
that song. People
They
had their
thought
fans,
he.
and it's because of that song.
They may have thought, okay, wait a minute. He was supposed to look. Why is he not on the main stage? And you know what? And let me say this too. Also, I was looking at the videos that BET released on social media, and every other comment was, okay, BET dropped the ball on this one. They should have had him on the main stage. They should have had, I don't know
Mm.
what great show BET,
Wow.
but 803 Fresh should have either opened the show or been somewhere in the
Right.
middle or closed the show. Every
Wow.
comment was about that. And to me,
Mhm.
that just speaks volume on the type of
Yeah.
artist that he is. Not just the type of artist that he is, but the type of producer that T the Wizard, shout out to T the Wizard, Nico,
Mhm.
Michelle, their sister, the type of producer that he is, it just speaks volume. And I'll just say that, hey, Southern Soul is here. It's here.
And it's
Yeah,
here to stay.
yeah, yeah. It's here. It's
And
here.
honestly, he could have if he would have opened up the show. Everybody would have been crazy. Honestly, it would have been perfect.
It would have
And
been a
then
show
one
to
thing
remember.
I want to what were you saying?
I said it'd be a show to remember and go down in history.
Yes, and one thing to
Yes,
point out,
yes.
I watched him perform about a week or two ago in here in Charleston, South Carolina, and I did an interview
Uh
with him
huh.
with Chris Kalen. But 803 Fresh can actually sing live. Like
Oh
Yes.
he
yeah,
can
no
actually
doubt.
Mhm.
sing. And somebody made a comment about that too, and I don't know what his background was. I also heard him sing gospel song, so I don't know if he
Mhm.
has that gospel background or grew up in the
He
church, and he
does.
probably did and grew up from
Mhm.
Wagner, but he actually can sing live, and that's one powerful thing to I think to take note of. Like, oh, Southern Soul, like you said, to your point, Lakana, Southern Soul is here and it's here to stay. And these are some talented artists. Like, just because they haven't or they are not viewed as mainstream doesn't mean they can't compete with the rappers
Oh
of
yes.
today
Oh
or
Lord, absolutely.
the singers of today.
Yes.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
You know, we have 803 Fresh. We have Nico Grande, who all of them are in the same realm. They work together.
Mhm.
They have the same producers. You have, oh my gosh, Nico's sister. You
Yeah,
have
Mimi
King
LaSalle.
George. Yes, Mimi LaSalle. I said Michelle. I'm sorry, Mimi girl. Mimi, Mimi, you have so many artists, especially from here, from 803, 843, 864. You have so many great artists. And we were at an event. Uh, Once again, shout out to the chosen one, Sam Pugh, who was also at the BET Awards as well. Shout out to him and all the winners that went with him from the music awards.
Yeah.
You have we were at an event where there was just Southern Soul. It surrounded. You had your rappers who were just as good, just as great, but Southern
Mhm.
Soul, oh my gosh, amazing, amazing. So shout out to 803 Fresh, and then let me say this too. Now the song that he came out on before he did Boots on the Ground, I liked that song.
Oh yes, honey.
That
I
was a
like
good
that.
song too.
It's
I
he
was
just
like,
got
okay, wait a minute. I said, okay, wait. Yeah. I was like, okay, now wait a minute. He could have kept singing it. But that's the only thing. BET dropped the ball on that one. Shout out to BET, but they they missed the moment. They missed the moment. They missed the mark. And I will say maybe a lot of rappers were not there because you keep in mind you still have the BET Hip Hop Awards as well. Well,
Mhm.
on stage. Yeah. And speaking of rappers, let me just say Glorilla did her thing. She was
Oh yeah.
amazing as well, since we're on the topic of
Yes.
rappers. But yeah, so she did really, really well.
Listen, Glow did her thing, especially with the tap dancing. Or is it? Am I correct?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Showing
That
her
was
yeah.
other
very different.
talents.
I love, and one of my bigger things about the BET Awards that I love, and shout out to Jesse Collins, that's the producer of the show and does like all the sets and set design and kind of and put all of that together.
Right.
I love the creativity of the acts every year. I will say they are some of the most creative when it comes to award shows on how they build their sets or themes.
Mhm.
Like the song that she performed to Let Her Cook, and they were like chefs. I don't know, it gave this Michael Jackson. Y'all gotta help me out. Y'all know I'm the young one here. Michael Jackson, like firefighter, chef vibe. Like it was really nice. I really did like that as well.
Yeah, she did
Yeah.
good.
You know what? The song. Oh my gosh, what's the not beat it? It's another song. It's one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs that he did. Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Yeah, that song. Remember that video? Well, Leisha, remember that video?
I'm trying to remember. It's
It
been
was
a minute.
okay. Well. Let me just say this: that her whole everything was surrounded to me now off of that
Mhm.
video.
Okay, I can
Yeah.
see
So
that.
it was really really good.
It
It
was
was
really
really
nice.
really good. The tap.
It was really
She
nice.
did good. She did good.
Now
Yeah.
she did later on. Obviously, we know Glorilla won a gospel award for the BET Awards, and that's getting some buzz. Dietrich Haddon posted a video of his concern about the gospel industry. Let's talk about that. Because he was like, basically to sum it up, I'm paraphrasing. You had to go back to watch his video, but he was like, "This is." He didn't say it's not acceptable, but he was like, "The gospel industry is dying," and like why did she win? Basically, no, he was like, no offense to the artist, but why did she win that award? What are y'all thoughts on that? I obviously the song that she won, it was she has a song with Kirk Franklin and Maverick City. I would say
Mhm.
over the years, I think Maverick City and we have saw, especially when it comes to um the consumption or the way gospel music has went these past few years is more
Mhm.
contemporary and they are not blurring the lines but it's moving away from the traditional gospel and now
Right.
we're seeing more collaborations with mainstream artists or pop or secular artists with gospel artists and
Mhm.
what do you all think about that?
Well, I'm on a gospel station now. And playing for, like, I guess knowing your area, because I know the area that I play for is more traditional. So they want to hear the
Right.
choir, the Mississippi Mass Choir, all those choirs. But I never forget years ago, when Ruben Studdard had that song called "Love Him Like I Do" with him and Mary, and I forgot who the other artist was. So I played that song. I had about 15 phone calls. And they said, "What happened? What happened? She all right? She all right?" And so when I got on the phone with one of the listeners, I said, "No." I said, "That song is on the charts. That song on the charts." I said, "Now see you listening to the beat. Listen to the words in the song. Love him like I do. You got to love the Lord like you do." And he's like, "Oh, okay, I didn't think about that." I said, "All you heard was the song. Thought you heard boom, 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 boom." But I was like, you gotta listen. I said it's in a light rotation because I know the area. So you got, I
Right.
guess, being on radio, you got to know your area and what your listeners like. But with that contemporary, it's something they had to grow to love, grow to
Hmm.
listen to. Like I said, because a lot of, especially this area, the traditional and the quartet. But some of that Southern soul is some other quartet singers. So even
Right.
I can even listen to some of the Southern soul, I can say, okay, they in the running part.
Right.
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 So, but it's just
I
contemporary.
think
That's something they had to learn to grow. Learn to accept, and they learn it slowly but surely.
I, I get Dietrich. First of all, shout out to Dietrich Haddon. Alicia and I have interviewed Dietrich Haddon, an amazing, amazing gospel singer, an
Oh
amazing
yeah.
and incredible guy. But I get where he's coming from. I really do get where he's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I really the thing I love about Glorilla is her soul. She has a great soul. You can tell it. You can feel it. Don't know her personally, of course, but just the aura that she gives is great. But I get where Dietrich is coming from because imagine if you're a gospel artist and this is what you've been doing. You've been waiting for those moments, for those awards. You've been waiting for that. And then someone who does not saying gospel isn't in them because she would have never recorded the song. But imagine if you're that gospel artist and you've been waiting for this moment and your song finally gets on the charts and your song finally gets a nomination for the BET Awards and then someone who doesn't even put out gospel music win. I can get it. I get it. I dig it. I can dig it. Yeah, that's it. But
I,
yeah,
right. I get it too. I get it too, and I'm not gonna say too much, but I definitely get it too. My only
yeah.
concern about the video, I not even this, like you said, shout out to Dietrich Haddon, and that's not really a concern. I just wanted to really know where it's coming from, and I get what you just said, Lakana. I get that's where it's partially where it's coming
Hmm.
from. But my
Yeah.
question is, if it was a gospel artist that would have won that category, it wouldn't have been that video wouldn't have been created. And then number two, today I just want to make a couple of points. Today I was looking in the Stellars dropped their nominations today.
Okay.
And one of the nominations was for rap and hip hop. So in my mind, I'm like, wait 1 minute. Like, so where are we coming from? Because we already know that, for one, gospel artists are making music with secular artists. So there's going to be a chance that this is going to happen. But when it happens, you can't get upset that it happens.
Right.
So I'm like, that's where I'm like, where is it coming from? Because, like, again, like I said, if it just would have been, I think who else was in that category? I can't remember who else was in that category, but I think it was Chandler Moore. Was it
Friday?
Friday was in that category too. And
Friday.
That's another thing. Like, I shout out to Friday as well. I'm going to see him next week in Charlotte. But Friday, he has a few songs with Maverick City, and kind of, you know, he talks about he definitely talks about his faith in his music too as well, or sings about it. But he's not a gospel artist.
Okay.
But I think Chandler Moore was nominated for something as well. Shout out to Chandler. And Chandler Moore, I think, is with Maverick City. But if Chandler Moore would have won it, nobody would have said something.
Would have said anything. Yeah.
And that's my concern. And my thing is, Chandler Moore, Kiara Sheard, Maverick City is on the song with Glorilla and Kirk Franklin. So, I mean, it was her song. She had the idea to bring them on. But they all won that award, to be honest. So I'm like, are we, and I don't want to use the word, are we jealous of collaboration? Or, like, what's the problem here? Because
it's the unknown. It's the unknown. It's
getting used to.
Yeah.
It's getting used to.
Exactly.
Gospel hip hop is on the rise. Shout out to my coworker Flacco, who's gonna be doing gospel hip hop.
Yes,
that's on the rise.
Shout out Flacco.
Shout out to Flacco.
Yeah,
and you are right. It is on the rise, and it kind of reminded me of, if y'all watched the BET Awards when Kirk Franklin closed out his tribute when DC Young Fly was in was the preacher. He was like, they were doing the beginning of revolution. He's like, all these new kids with this TikToking, and here comes Kirk Franklin. And shout out to Kirk Franklin, because somebody said this. Kirk Franklin really brought a lot of people to Jesus through actually blending those beats with gospel music, or the sound of gospel. And it has brought a lot of people to God. But, like, okay, with that video, I'm like, okay, be mad at Kirk Franklin. Like, what? And I mean, and it kind of, I wouldn't say be mad at Kirk Franklin, but a point he did, DC Hattie did also say in the video, he was like, you can't keep allowing one person to, I think it was something along the lines of dominate gospel music or something. I don't know if I'm correct or saying this, but he was like, have the shine. I can't remember if he said it like that, but I am paraphrasing. I don't want to say it in the wrong context, and then this gets clipped and we go viral for something. But
can I say something?
Yes.
Okay, it was something along that line, but I did say when I was watching the BET Awards, now, why is it that the same individuals get the same awards? Now, I know when you're putting out hot stuff, regardless of who you are, you just putting out hot. That's like Beyonce. I mean, she put out hot stuff all the time since, you know, Destiny's Child. But I kind of get what Dietrich is saying, because sometimes you do see the same individuals winning the same awards, and you have just as hot. I don't even know how to say this, but you have artists that are just as hot. They have just as great songs. For example, now BJ and I had a debate about this the other night. Matter of fact, in the airport, he was in the airport, and I was like, BJ, now, the guy who was a Disney kid, I like him and everything, but you cannot tell me that this was not Boss Man D-Lo's year.
Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon.
No, Nickelodeon, I'm sorry. He's a great artist, though. He's an amazing singer. But I was like, well, BJ, though, Boss Man D-Lo has put out so many great songs. So... I get it.
That's no offense to Boss Man D-Lo, but I think we were talking about what. Let me look and see which award that was. I think that was
Best New Artist.
Male Artist, right?
Best new artist.
best new artist. Wait a minute. Let me see. Leon Thomas, um, BET Awards. Let me see. Let's see. Was that best new? You're right. Okay,
Okay.
it was best new artist. You are correct. It was best new artist, and I just I think I don't know how BT does it. I don't think they do the voting anymore. So it's not really based off of
Yeah.
it's not based off of
Mhm.
everyone's opinion. I still
Right.
do believe Leon Thomas still would have won if it was based off the voting, because all of like us would have voted for him. But he definitely deserves it. He's
Yeah,
missing
he
that. But
did. He did.
I get where you're coming from.
Mhm.
I think now though there's a wave shift from rap in every people
Mhm.
wanting a little bit of that real R&B back, and I think that's what Leon
Yes.
Thomas brings.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
I do
Yes,
think
Yeah.
he does.
that's why
He
I
does.
think it's a lot that goes into play with this music industry stuff. So yeah,
It was a debate. It was an
it,
airport debate.
it was definitely an interesting debate. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh Lord.
back to Dietrich Haddon, we get what I definitely got what he was saying, because
Yeah.
I've been in instances like that where you do the work and then you're like, okay, how did they get there or how did they get this when I've been doing this for X Y Z? I get that, and but I think we also have to say, okay, where are we coming from here? And I like I say, I do get that. As a PR person, though, if I was like his PR person, I just would have told him not to put that out.
Mm.
Right.
But we
But
have freedom of speech, so you can't say that. I'm just
yeah.
Mhm.
saying people have freedom of speech because people are mean in this world and they have comments and
Right.
Mhm.
they will tell you to sweep around your own front door before try to
True. True.
text
But you
somebody.
also got to understand, Dietrich's been in the business for years, so he probably don't even care what he say by now. So,
He don't.
right.
And
That part.
I'm just saying. I definitely
Yeah.
understand. I definitely understand where he's coming from, but I just it's like okay, and that's no
But
offense.
I will say, I really, really, really like the song that Glorilla, the gospel. I love it. I love it.
Mhm.
I love it. And it's
I just
her. You can tell this is her. Her growing up in the South and her roots, you can tell. I mean, her name was Glory Hallelujah, right? So it's
and
that,
And she someone also did make a
yeah,
comment. It was like they were like she was even kind of shocked by it. And some people they were getting on BT about like BT
her,
y'all wrong for
yeah,
that. And so I'm giving y'all both sides. I'm not being biased about the situation at all.
right, right.
And people were like BT y'all wrong for that, and I can get it. Even like Glorilla was saying, she was there 3 years and this is her first award, her first BT award,
Yes,
and
yes,
it's a gospel
which
Wow.
is
song. She's
crazy.
not a gospel artist, so even like she
Yes.
felt,
Mhm.
I think, some type of way had something to say about it. Um, but yeah, I believe next year. Let's say this. I think the format of the show was
It's
perfect.
gonna
I think
change
we
a
could
little
keep
bit.
this going on for years.
Yeah,
If they want to
yeah,
redeem themselves, they redeemed themselves this year. But if they want, because Kevin Hart said something that was really powerful. He was like, "We should look at the BET Awards like any of the other of these, any
yes,
other of
yes,
these award shows." And I
yes.
agree with that. I love the dress code. I'm basically summing it
Mhm.
up, paraphrasing, because we got to get out of here on like 12 minutes. But I love the dress code. The way the show was ran. I did like the 3 or 4 icons. I think that was really nice because last year
Yeah.
was just Usher, if you think about it. Um, and then it was like all these new people performing. But I believe to spotlight multiple people and do tributes and have the
Mhm.
lesson of what's out now, kind of, or what's current. And what else did they do that was really neat? And maybe like make a tribute to something else, or a gospel artist, or a movie, or something, or that BT is known for. I think is the perfect recipe for an amazing award show. So
Yeah,
let's
Right.
they're
go
gonna
ahead and
step it up. They're gonna do something different, just to, up the ante. So from
right.
this year.
Yes. Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
So
let's
I'm
set that
excited.
up.
Wait. Like, we cannot not talk about Jamie Foxx's entire
Oh
that
my
entire
lord.
situation. That was
Yeah.
amazing. I was crying, I was laughing, I was crying. I thought I was going through hormonal changes, but it was amazing. He was just, oh my gosh. You can tell, you know how, I think, what's that thing where God has to bring you, but turn you around to show you, what's the thing that they always say in church? You got to go back. You got to go, you
Jesus
got
will
to,
pick you up if you have to reach way down. When you go all the way
yes, yes.
down.
It was one of those moments, and his speech was just so like apologetic, almost to the point of, I know where I used to be, I know where I was, but this is where I'm supposed to be. I almost wasn't here. And he said something.
Hmm.
He said, now this is what did it for me, when he said that he was looking at the in memoriam, and he would have been up there. That
Oh.
was that was that the
Mm.
hair stood up on my hair. Yeah, it was a lot. It was, yeah, that was a lot. That was a great moment for him. That was an amazing
Yeah.
moment for him. I love that for him.
When I tell you the whole
Chills.
auditorium was almost crying or in chills, that moment, I didn't cry at that moment, but now I get emotional about it, even thinking about it, because that was something
Mhm.
Yeah.
that was powerful if you think about it. All of that, just being in the
Hmm.
room with Jamie Foxx at that moment, or that was just history.
Right.
And let's not even get on the tribute with Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When Jennifer Hudson
Came on that stage, walked out on that stage like
and
she was
took us to
Aretha,
church.
Oh,
the
she
queen.
sure did. Now
Yes.
she did that. Now she was
Yes,
strutting.
she
I said,
did.
girl, you better work. You better walk.
Work.
Work
Walk. How
and
she did,
walk.
Alicia?
She
Walk.
better work
Yes, work
and
and
walk.
walk.
Listen,
She
that's
did
all I
that.
got to say. So yeah, Jamie Foxx's tribute was amazing. His speech, his testimony, obviously was
Mm-hmm.
that's chills. Like it doesn't get no better than that. And to see that he's living his life for God and telling and not afraid to tell that he's living his life for God and that
Mhm.
Right.
God was the one that brought him out of that situation
Mm-hmm.
is powerful.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah,
powerful.
Absolutely.
it was. And Tyler Perry words was powerful as well.
Yeah.
Before he introduced Legacy, his words were powerful as well.
Don't
Yes,
let your
Yes.
worry
worry,
be greater than your
faith.
faith.
Okay,
Faith.
Okay
yes,
then.
Help me
yes,
out. I was about to say
Cause he
faith.
doing his
yes,
thing, honey, with what is it,
yes.
duplicity, and I just saw strong. Oh my gosh. I was a whole entire mess.
Yes,
I was a whole entire mess.
it was
So
amazing. The
yeah.
award show was really good. It was really good. It was really good.
But they're
If we
gonna up
had
the
to rank
ante
it,
next year.
what did you say?
I said they're gonna up the ante next year. It's gonna be
Right. Okay. So
Oh
let's
yeah.
oh yeah.
that goes to my next point. Who should they honor next year, or what should they do next year?
Oh Lord.
Lucy, you want to go first?
Uh, Lord, let me get my thoughts together. I just know they're gonna take it to another level. They're gonna, really, take it up. Where you're gonna be like, oh my God, this was amazing. That's all you're gonna say. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm trying to
I
think who
think
can honor.
I think next year they need to
Mm-hmm.
honor, like, for example, we're next year is 2026, right? So I think
Yeah.
next year they need to honor, like, because life is so precious. That same day we lost Sly Stone. So they need to reach back and honor the individuals that really opened the door, that were in the doors that were already open for them. Like, for
Mm-hmm.
example, we still have Otis from the Temptations that's still here. We have Diana Ross that's
Right.
here. Thank God. We have so many of the individuals that they need to honor. Not just them. You have individuals from the Motions. The ladies of the '70s. Those are the
Or
individuals
is
to
it
me that
Morris
need to
Day?
be. Yes, yes. They need to be honored, like, and even if they honor individuals now, just like how I don't see anything wrong with honoring the hard work that individuals now that are doing. I think they need to honor, like how they, with the three icon awards, I think they need to take, hey, I have an idea. I think they need to take individuals who are like everyday individuals who are doing great out in the world. I think they just need to pick one or two individuals from, like, who's making waves. You have a lot, and nowadays you have a lot of students who are graduating early, going to college early, getting degrees while they're in high school. I think add that in the mix as well.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, Lakonda, and you said something that I was just about to say. You kind of took the words out of my mouth. I believe the perfect recipe is what they did this year, especially with me being in communications and all social
Hmm.
media management. One
Mm-hmm.
thing that we learned, especially in marketing, when something works, repeat it. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and you did good this
yeah.
year.
Yeah,
So
what
the
ain't
format
broke,
that they
don't fix
had
it.
was they had Jamie Foxx, a male, Mariah Carey, female, a gospel
Shout out to
singer.
my girl.
Right, shout out to
Yes,
your girl, a gospel singer. So I believe. Oh, and then Snoop. We can't forget about Snoop. So it
Snoop.
was
Yeah,
actually four people.
Yeah.
But I believe even just copying that theory or copying that not theory strategy, and maybe a male, female, and a gospel singer is perfect.
yeah,
Yeah. That
yeah.
sounds good.
That would be.
And even
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I had to come off out of mine, like and I believe when you do that, it brings back the quality of the
The show.
show. And that's what it did this year.
Mm-hmm.
The quality
hmm,
of the show was perfect. You saw so many cameos from so many A-list celebrities that we have not seen
yeah.
in years.
Mm-hmm.
And for instance, next year, honor Beyonce. Do a Beyonce tribute. She might come back. You
Oh,
never know. She might
I
come
Listen.
and see
still
her
remember
tribute.
Monique when she came out and did her tribute. Remember Monique when
Yeah,
she
you
came
know what?
out
Doing stuff right, Alicia. Doing stuff like that. When they had the surprise with when James Brown and Michael Jackson. Remember those
oh my
days
God.
when they just like shocked the people? That was just
Yeah.
amazing. Take that,
Mm-hmm.
put it with this year's formula, and bam.
Oh
All
yeah.
Tasha
Out of
Cobbs.
this world.
Yeah.
I mean, I promise y'all, if y'all get the right people to do these tributes and do these, I think that format of the tributes and the honoring the icons work
Mm-hmm.
because it was so entertaining. Like it's so many. For one, I think that brings the aspect of nostalgia back, and it lets us wrap the year up in a way that we're like, oh wow, we're here this
Mm-hmm.
year, and
Right.
like remember when music was great, like or remember this time. It's
Mhm.
it's it's really it's just a feeling that I can't explain that it brings when you do that. It almost brings chills. When I tell you I caught chills in the auditorium this year over the award show last year. Last year I didn't feel anything. This year it was so nostalgic. Even with the 106 in Park, um,
Yes.
with the
Yeah, that
106
was a
in
nice
Park
tribute.
tribute when Ti came
Mm-hmm.
out, chills. I'm like, whoa!
Yeah.
I remember this. Ti performing like literally almost you could actually almost cry because it's like, dang, this is wow. We're here and like, where has time gone? Like we're honoring these catalogs and these
Mm-hmm.
songs that have been staples for a long time. We hear them at parties. We hear them when we go out. We hear them everywhere. And I believe
Right.
actually bringing that into the spotlight and honoring it is just the perfect formula.
And you know
Absolutely.
what else I think they should add? You know what else I think they should add? So, okay, BT, listen up. This is a lab exclusive. Lab exclusive. I think that they should honor with the lab, the individuals from the lab podcast, YouTube, TikTok, with us being the individuals that presented. I think they should honor the HBCU of the year, right?
Oh wow. Now that
Now,
Marketing genius. Yes, they should do a HBC of the year and have Lakonda, Alicia, and DJ be the presenters. Shout out to
oh
now,
that would
BET.
be awesome.
now, I would love that. They kind of did, because obviously they have a lot of programs and whatnot out there.
Yeah, they
There
do.
was a program this
Mm-hmm.
year
Yeah.
that kind of that they have connections with, and there's a lot of programs. There's a program even that I know knowledge of called HBCU in LA that allows HBCU students to have internships in LA during the summers, and I think some of those students were even at the BT Awards. But they had another program that they showed a commercial or the bumper video for with some HBCU students, and they did honor HBCUs slightly, a little bit this year. But I do believe going a little bit more into that would be would be amazing. And I was gonna say another thing would be having a theme to the award show, something similar to the Met Gala
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Oh,
right.
yeah.
would
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
be perfect
yes.
every year where you have to
Hmm.
dress the theme. I think obviously it being Black Titus or formal this year. Honestly, in my opinion, everybody looked great.
Yeah, from what we
They
saw,
did.
yeah,
They
they
did.
did.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
They did.
definitely.
They should do that and have the lab, the individuals from the lab, us, present the award. I think because you know what, we do see them, but it's usually on commercial. They'll
Right.
do a commercial whenever you go to commercial. I know the individuals in the award show don't see the commercials, but they'll talk about individuals from the
Mm-hmm.
schools. Let's rev it up a little bit. Let's give it the HBCU of U of the year.
Right.
Not only that, I mean, if not the HBCU of the year, a black athletic coach from a HBCU or from a university. Period.
I'm sold on the HBCU of the year. I think BET
I,
having
yeah,
the
I like the
HBCU of
HBCU.
the year
That's cool.
award at the BET Awards is top notch.
Yeah.
That would bring honestly that would bring because I would tell you there's probably a demographic of people that graduated from HBCUs that
Mhm.
view BET differently now just because of you know
Right. Right. Right.
just
That's
because of the
yeah. I like
years
that.
and that's fine but yeah, I agree. Now on to our last and final topic. Lakonda.
Well, okay. So listen, growing up, everybody knows me knows from the time I saw my cousin Super D Jam back in the '80s at the radio station, 93.5 Allendale, South Carolina. Shout out the big dog. Um, I just loved talking, music, everything. But one of the highlights of growing up in the 90s, in the early 90s, the mid 90s, and into the early 2000s was seeing Ananda Lewis on, and then you see all the coverage, and it just says that MTV host. But let's be clear, Ananda Lewis was a BET host as well. And
Mm-hmm.
she was in several music videos. She was amazing. I have so many to this day. I have so many VHS, well, my mother still has them, VHS recordings of her on the shows. After school, I would go home, I would watch them after whatever cheerleading or whatever it was I was in the band. I would record them so I could watch her. That just lets you know that this is what I wanted to do all my life. And she was one of those individuals. And if you know, I mean, I'm sorry, BJ, that you did not get the opportunity to grow up in the 90s. So sorry. But if you know, you know. The 90s was the best time if you grew up as a teenager or almost mid adult at that time. And she was a pivotal part of that. She was very, very big in the industry and on the video, in the music videos. I mean, hosting events, just talking and just bringing
Mm-hmm.
that light, that ray of sunshine that she was, and honoring her tonight from our little podcast. And when I say little, meaning we gonna be real big soon. It's just amazing to me because she was somebody that I've always wanted to interview. Alicia will tell you there are several people that I love to interview. BJ will even tell you. And she was one of the individuals that was on my bucket list because she was a huge part of me
Mm-hmm.
growing up. And, so we're going to just take a few seconds to just give her the moment, everything. She was an amazing individual. She was an amazing individual. And let us not forget about Sly Stone. And I know that we're here
Mm-hmm.
talking about the BET Awards. But let me just say this: it's almost summertime, and Hot Fun in the summertime with Sly Jones and the Family was huge for my mother growing up. And then I know, like I said, we're talking about BET, but let us not also forget someone who's a huge part of the music industry. I mean, huge. Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys. He gave them that sound. That sound that you hear from the Beach Boys, that's Brian Wilson's sound. And he was an amazing part of music in the 60s, and he sadly passed away, I think, yesterday as well. So it's just love on your loved ones. Just love on your loved ones.
Definitely.
So much respect, and peace and light to Ananda Lewis, an amazing, beautiful host, VJ. I'll just say all around individual. To Sly Stone from Sly and the Family Stone, who was just a musical genius. I mean, genius. And then also he has a documentary. I think it's on Hulu, if I'm not mistaken. Check your listings. But he has a documentary that just
Oh,
came out this year. Actually, that's amazing.
Conda went
And then
out
also Brian
for
Wilson
a
from the Beach
second,
Boys, who
but
has several documentaries that are
yeah,
Yes,
amazing as
honor
well.
several.
these people, and that is going to be it. Again, we Ananda Lewis. Obviously, we are just sad about her passing, and we wanted to take the time to
Absolutely.
spotlight her tonight, and the other greats that have contributed to the music industry. So
Hmm.
I'm BJ and Alicia and Makonda. Fortunately, we had some technical difficulties, but we are out, and this has been the Lab Podcast. All right.
That's right. Good night.
Good night.